Hey guys, it's me, Raven here. Just coming with you another episode of my vlog. If you're wondering why my camera's so low, we had an issue with the mounts. Both of the mounts have their own problems. And the first one, the one that I had with the magnet, the actual vents can't hold the weight of the phone. So what happens is it'll get on there and just drop down. And it doesn't work when it's going down the road. The magnet's just not powerful enough to hold it. The other one that we had, which was a suction cup, it just keeps losing suction and falling off, and it's very distracting to have happen when you're driving down the road. So I've got an issue there with both of those. You guys kind of caught me. I'm actually working on my paperwork right now, and the surprising thing is, I mean, with how much stuff is computerized, like I've got my Qualcomm right here that, you know, to put in all the information of when I've arrived at a certain shipper, when I've arrived at a consignee, stuff like that. We still have a lot of paperwork to do. And that's mainly because that's how my company gets paid, is they have to have these bills of lading. And how I get paid is by putting in, sending those in so that I prove that, you know, the load's already been delivered. And it also takes care of any expenses that I had to pay for out on the road, myself or my co-driver. So that's something that we have to do out here. I've already got these set up so that once we get to, I could do it by my phone, but what I'm probably going to do is once I get to my fuel stop, I'm just going to scan them in via the system that they've got. And that just makes it work so much better than any other way to do it. And the reason for that, it's just fast. The phone's okay, but it's not as fast as this is. So that's what I'm working on right now. We're kind of a little bit in a hurry, so you might not see any major videos coming out for a couple days, but that's just the nature of the beast out here. Somebody was mentioning yesterday, I was talking to somebody in another chat room, and I'm not going to say which one, I'm not going to say who it is either. My co-driver wants to, because he wants to go at him, and I'm like, no, you're not doing that, you're going to leave him alone. And I was talking to him about, hold on, I'm just trying to grab some of my stuff here, my filing system. He was talking about not having a job right now and looking for something, you know, to make some money with. And I had suggested, well, why not trucking? And he went off on me. He's like, if I hear another person talk about trucking, I swear to God, I'm going to do this. And I'm sitting there going, I'm trying to help you here. I'm not trying to go, well, this is the best thing out there. I'm in the industry. I know it sucks. But I also know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that it pays well. I mean, I know how much I'm going to make, and it wasn't even hard for me to do it. But then he gets further into it, and he started putting case points of how trucking is going to get automated. And he shows where they've done experiments with it. They've done them in Europe. They've done one experiment here in the United States, and he's using that as his basis on, well, it's going to go away. Couple things you're forgetting. One, those are test runs. You always have to have a proof of concept for anything. And they were running the one in Europe as a convoy. Not everything can run as a convoy. And what you're also forgetting is it's not the computer that you have to worry about. It's the other drivers around it. And also the conditions. Case in point was Tesla. One of their vehicles, there was a fatality with this. And what they learned was that the driver of the Tesla had a common thing of turning on the auto drive feature, even though Tesla had warned in their system to be aware and be paying attention to what you're doing and only use it in emergencies. And what happened was the car ran right straight underneath the trailer and killed the guy. Now, the reason that happened was because the system that they had could not differentiate between the sidewall of a trailer, it was a white trailer, and the sky. It got confused very quickly. Now, that's just a trailer. That's just, you know, standard, and I don't believe it was even that at that high of highway speeds. So that happening, would you want that to happen with an 80,000 pound truck that's driving down the road where it just mistakes, a car for just a bump? I know for a fact that some of these systems have a hard time with lines. And if they can't figure out where the lines will go, it'll just lock up and stop. I've heard that they also have issues with bicycles. Google specifically flips out whenever it sees a bicycle. It doesn't know what it is. Can't figure it out. So there's still a lot of work to be done on that. And the other part is I don't know if insurance companies are going to feel very comfortable leaving freight with a driverless truck, especially if it's a hazardous materials thing. And there's a lot of hazmat that runs the highways. And I don't know if any of you would want it driving past your house unattended, because they can say all they want. Well, the driver needs to be attentive and sitting in the front seat. If you have nothing to do and you're just sitting in the front seat watching the road, how fast do you think you're going to be either reading or doing something on your phone or on a tablet or talking on a phone? Any number of different things. Heck, people will probably have an Xbox or something up in the front seat just so that they're, doing something. It's very hard to keep somebody's attention if they're just sitting here. They might even fall asleep. And at that case, nobody's paying attention to what's going on. The other part is, have they tested these things in backing them in, trying to get them into the doors, getting them in and out safely? Those are problems out there. I can see a myriad of different problems that they're going to have. And the other part is, sensors are not foolproof, okay? You can have as many sensors as you want. All it takes is one of them to fail, and you could have a catastrophic failure if the right events happen. That's happened with aircraft, where certain sensors that are supposed to determine, what the temperature is or where what the altitude is, have failed. Say it determines that you're in the wrong spot. Say the GPSs can get hacked. It's happened. Say someone does that. They can steal an entire shipment without doing anything. Just hack the system, okay, drive it right there. And with as many electronic devices as there are, there's got to be something that has a backup to the company so that they could see it. Well, if that means that there's a network capability, that means someone can still get into it. I mean, it doesn't take much of a stretch of the imagination to think that someone could actually steal the entire truck without anybody being able to stop it. So that's my thought on that. Did have one other thought, which was, I know at some point I'm going to run out of ideas to talk about on this show. I'm going to run out of ideas to look at because either I've done it or there's very little else I can add to it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn this show over to you, the audience. And what I want you to do is think of questions that you're going to have. Any major questions that you have about this industry or what I'm doing out here, how I do certain things, how I do this, how I do that. And I'll look at the questions, I'll see what's there, and the best ones I will answer. And if it's a really good one, I might even do a video on it just to show what I'm really doing. And when I say best, I don't mean funniest, I don't mean the rudest, it's whatever I determine as the best one. And that's how I'm going to run it. I think you guys will like that format because it allows you as the audience to have a little bit of control over the show as opposed to it just being my randomness that I'm coming up with. And I want to know that people are watching this. So put it in the comments below. Be sure to like and subscribe and click the bell. Click that bell that's there. If you can ring that bell, that one will change the notifications, and then you guys will be able to tell when I have a new video out. I'm going to try and keep as much content coming. Also, we're trying to get to 100 subscribers by the end of October. Excuse me, actually 100 subscribers by the end of September, and I'm hoping to get to 10,000 views for the entire site by the end of October. That means I can turn on monetization on there, and that means I can actually start getting paid by YouTube to do this. So if you all can help me out with that, share this with your friends, like and subscribe, and of course, hit that bell, and I will see you next episode. This is Raven, out.